Okay, I'm in. This episode of As the Wasteland Burns was brought to you by Galaxy News Radio and our sponsors at Voltec. Better living underground. Now with Blamco mac and cheese and
Butt plugs.
Yay! Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of As the Wasteland Burns. We had found our group traveling towards the north and eventually arriving in Germantown. The scene that greeted them originally as they were approaching was a desolate, abandoned walled city. A large portion of it burned to the ground or, collapsing from age. They arrived at a fortified industrial area. This industrial area, once they gained access, they found was being run by a baron who took over from his father who had passed, and there was some contention between them and the merchant. Between him and the merchant.
Are we just going to skip around the fact that Snake nearly got us into a firefight just entering into this place?
Yeah, we'll skip around it.
That guy got what he deserved.
You don't come into another man's house and just punch him.
Well, you might not. Snake might.
Okay, fine.
Manners. Jeez.
Yeah, manners maketh the man. Last time we had gathered together, the group had gone along and sold a lot of their surplus equipment off. And I believe this week we were supposed to be picking up with people buying stuff that they want. We have Miss Gray getting a mod done for her pistol to allow it to be interchanged between that and a rifle. We have Snake getting replacement body armor.
I need to repair both of my weapons too from getting wet.
Correct.
And Sam bought a piece of shadowed leather armor for one of his arms.
Yep.
With stabilized added. Did I actually get that, or was there ever a quote on how much time it would take?
You from the same guy who's getting the armor for Snake, it was going to be about 2 weeks.
Got it.
Miss Gray's rifle would have been done within a week's time.
Yep.
Like 4 days, and then getting the parts together type of deal to make it.
So stay in the region for a bit.
Yeah. You guys had paid for, as Elisa right now, for 3 days inside the fortress of Germantown. There was some shenanigans going on outside, some sort of beef between two different mercenary groups.
Did we learn which groups it was between, or
no? You knew about it. You hadn't taken the time because of the buying and selling. The people that you had talked to here at least didn't have any idea. Nothing's gotten back to them. Let's put it this way. You're not sure. For outside, once you complete your buying portion of the night, then as we go back to talking to other people, you can go to the third floor with to talk to the mercenary guilds. That's also where the living quarter. You guys would have a place that you're staying temporarily in. And then it was the first floor was of this giant industrial complex was for shop transients, that type of deal. Second floor was also for that, but there was also that's where some of the eating establishments, where the taverns, the inns, it's where the merchant guilds had their offices. Third floor was where the mercs, and it was also where the housing was for the bulk of the people who live here or are staying here. Fourth floor was for the Baron. And then at that point in time, after that, it was the outside the catwalks and such, guards and such, and the like.
Yeah. Yeah, at some point we're probably going to want to drop by the mercenary quarters just to say hi.
Well, yeah, and you guys also want to let the Mustang, whoever, since Captain Rodriguez is, Mustangs were based out of here. You guys were, I remember you, Sam, saying that you were going to share the information that, about what happened at the Powder Monks, in case they didn't know already.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start at the top of the list, and I'm going to work my way down. Sally, get your dice warmed up because, we'll see what kind of additional damage you can do. And yes, word has gotten out that the famous or infamous, depending on how you want to look at it, Sally Sue is.
I wave to everyone that looks at me.
Okay. Some people wave back. Some people are gossiping among themselves. So, Miss Gray, what if anything are you looking to spend your hard-earned caps on?
Yeah, I think I already bought my new toy.
Okay.
I don't think there's anything else that I'm specifically looking for.
Okay, just making sure. Make sure you have that
saying
option.
I can't be tempted, but
okay,
Gray's pretty happy.
As you're making your way all through the shops, and talking with the people here and there, it's the normal fare. You have people selling weapons, people selling food. I know that was something that the group was talking about also. Chems of different types. Some stuff being homegrown, some stuff being not. There's different types of foods that are here, stuff that you've never seen before, stuff that they've harvested from the swamps and the surrounding areas. So some of it's designed or has different kind of properties, but you would have to ask it specifically if you're looking for something. There are weaponsmiths and armorers, just as good or just as equal to what you've seen in Oakville. Ammunition, like anything, is at a premium. So that's one of the few things that Sally Sue's rolls will reduce, but not completely, undercut them. So they that's something that they're a little, unless she gets like 2-1s type of deal. That'll be something she'll be hard pressed to have them give up or sell at a reduced rate. Now working my way down, Sam, what if anything are you looking?
I mean, I was looking to upgrade armor, but I kind of got what I wanted.
Okay.
And the only other thing I'd be looking at is to upgrade leg armor, but with it taking 2 weeks to get the first piece, I'm not sure. Yeah. Actually, could I put in an order for more shadowed armor? More shadowed heavy leather?
Yeah.
For the legs?
Yeah. It's taking long because not so much for the shadowed part. It's taking longer for the stabilizer that you wanted in there. So yeah, that unfortunately is where the the modification made to because it has to be built to, and again, so let me explain to those of you out there and those of you here. So let me. Excuse me.
That's what he said.
Okay. So shadowed armor, what that does is it's the armor, the sheen, the any kind of glare is taken off it. So it's almost like it's washed with like an oil or an ink to dull it down. That gives you bonuses for sneak. And the more pieces that you're wearing, the better rolls that you get, to the point where you could be standing in the shadow of a street lamp and be invisible, as compared to somebody such as like Snake, if he was in his metal armor, which would be shot, to be a reflection coming off of it. Stabilization is there are braces, and there's a brace and piston system built into the arm, so it doesn't compensate for lack of strength. So for weapons that have like a heavy kick, like Hecate 2, it doesn't reduce the recoil for that. But what it does is it allows him to get his arm up into position, lock it in place, and it gives him a bonus damage die because of that. So he's using his arm as a stable surface.
Yeah. And while we're at it, would I be able to order a better cover for my Pip-Boy? Because right now it's just straight ones across the board.
I would say yes. So let's look at the shadowed armor first. So you want leather,
heavy leather, shadowed legs, or shadowed heavy leather legs.
They could do that. The guy who was getting the armor for Snake would be able to order that at the same time he's ordering your armor. Do you want both legs, one leg?
Both if possible.
Both if possible.
Even up. Yeah.
Still take the same amount of time, only because crafting it, so they'll get it here. Once he has the person who's making it for him, he'll get it here. You'll get it fitted to you, and then they'll get it to you. That will run you one thing, heavy leather. Sally, make me a barter roll. Barter speech.
Oh, I did barter charisma.
Oh, no,
I do barter.
yeah, barter charisma. I'm sorry. Speech is another skill. So okay. And there you go. She rolled ones and so let's see. Yep, 15. Okay. So you and him are going back and forth, and he's willing to cut Sam here a break. And you as he's using the prestige of dealing with you and what the group is buying from him to kind of like boost his reputation. So he will cut it down to 40 caps apiece.
For between the arms and the legs, or
No, so the arm's already paid for. We've already negotiated that. He'll do each leg that you want will cost you 40 caps.
Okay. 80 caps for both legs then?
Yep.
That's a deal. And can a better cover for my Pip-Boy be arranged as well, or no?
He's looking at it, and he may be able to. He doesn't know. He takes some time, with the slide rule and a T-square, and he kind of like gets the measurements and everything like that. He makes no promises. Something like that never made before. You do know people. You have seen people here with Pip-Boys on, walking about, but none of them have any form of armor or cover on top of it.
Are they in blue jumpsuits?
No.
Oh.
These are dressed in. Everybody who's walking around is dressed in normal, either light to medium body armor. Not as well armed and armored as the group, but they've obviously have some sort of understanding as to what's going on in the outside world.
Got it.
But yeah, so he'll try, but he makes no promises.
Understood.
From talking with different people as you're walking through, Sam, while you can't, it would be cost prohibitive to purchase ammo. You could go along and make your own. spending caps to get a reloading bench. There's enough different people selling the various items, like the tin that you can make into primer, and brass, and gunpowder, the lead, and so forth. That you could probably sit down, find, buy time at somebody's ammo bench and make stuff.
Okay.
I don't know what your. I know your gun nut's pretty high, and I don't know what your ammo reloading skill is at. So
I think I keep meaning to take the ammo
or hand
reloading,
loader.
but
Sorry, hand loader. My bad.
I think I keep meaning to take hand loader, but there's always something else that gets in the way. That seems like it's more important to take first. Yeah.
So
I'd be able to do basic loads, I think.
probably, yeah.
Yeah.
So depending on what you're trying to make, it'll, may be able to get, a couple rounds made or that type of deal. Maybe more cost effective to do it that way as compared to, the other way, but that's up to you. So just something to, ruminate in the back of your head.
Yeah.
Sally, what can we do for you? What are you looking for? What do you need? I know you recently, put the syringer into a secondary position, had a new rifle added to you, working with both Sam and Saval to, get yourself up to snuff with that. So is there something that we can do to modify that rifle? Or is there something that you want to trade it out and see if there's something better out there?
No, I think I'm good for the moment.
Okay,
Did
just
we
making
talk
sure.
about armor for Sally Sue not too long ago?
I know we gave her stuff off of the Pack Brahmin that you had been carrying around. I don't know what she's rated for right now. So Sally, what are you rocking right now for body armor other than your hood?
Just I'm rocking dirty combat armor on the right and left arm, reinforced 30 combat armor on the left leg, heavy combat armor on the right leg, and torso is also dirty combat armor. So
She got a little bit of everything. So yeah. Talking with the armorer here. Wait a minute, let me pull up the. What's your worst armor that you're carrying right now? What's the worst the armor piece that you have?
my head, but I'm not gonna.
I know. Okay, what's the next worst piece after that?
Worst piece would be the dirty combat armor.
Dirty or sturdy?
Dirty.
Interesting.
Might be sturdy. I put dirty.
What?
I like dirty.
What's the rating?
Dirty now.
4-4.
4-4. Okay, so that's the.
Well, 5-5 with my jumpsuit, but
Okay,
4-4
that's not bad.
That's not
okay.
bad. So.
Good.
I think I'm
For
okay.
right now. Yeah. Okay. There are materials.
Dirty.
I'm gonna keep it.
Yeah, keep it
Speaking
as
of dirty, what's the jam wearing?
Well, now actually, it was kind of nice today, so I wasn't, down to my, tighty whities and a fan in my hand. So I am actually relaxing. Pair of jeans and just a regular T-shirt. Sitting here, kicking back and chatting with my friends.
I have friends.
You do.
Who else are you talking to?
Well, they're on my OnlyFans page right now, but that's okay.
Oh, okay.
The pay for friend types. Got it.
They're still friends. Leave me alone.
At
Don't
the
judge
real
me.
Phoenix Lord people?
There is. So you're working your way through the shops, and again, looking to see what's out there. I don't believe there's anything that can be done for the Molotovs that you're carrying. However, you do find that there are a few places that are selling slightly more advanced or better throwing weapons. So there's somebody who has they don't have many. They only have 2, but they do have a plasma grenade available. Plasma grenades. Plasma grenades are explosive. They're energy damage, and they do 9 dice when they explode. Working with them, you may be able to get them to reduce, but that's still.
How much do they cost?
Make me a roll. Okay. You get it down to 115.
Okay.
Very happy. Plasma grenade, as I described, is a 9 dice attack. Energy. Has blast, so it's going to hit the ground that you're aiming for, and then everything around it. And it can be thrown up to medium range.
Okay, dokie. How much do they weigh?
Negligible, less than a pound.
All right.
Free weight for all intents and purposes. Oh, and here's the special. I'm sorry, I did forget those. The plasma grenade inflicts both physical and energy damage. You roll damage as normal, and then that's what makes them special. So you roll damage as normal, and then reduce the total by whichever the target's damage resistance is lower. So, for example, if you're going up against something that's a 4/4, it's going to reduce the damage by 4. But if you're going up against something that's a 4, say a 4/2. It's going to reduce the damage by the energy, so it's going to be it's going to reduce 2 points of damage reduction, as compared to reducing it by 4. So it affects the worst of the damage reduction value.
Okay.
On the off chance I forget about that, please make sure you let me know.
Yeah, Warpy, remember that, please.
Wait, what?
Oh boy.
Wait, what am I being asked to remember?
So when the plasma grenade is thrown and it goes off,
Mhm.
it does both physical and energy damage.
Right.
It affects the worst of the 2 damage reductions. So if somebody is a 3/1, the damage reduction 1 for the energy will be what what's soaking. If the person's a 1/3, the physical will be what it's soaking. So it affects the worst of whatever damage reduction effect exists.
So essentially, the blurb that's on page 121.
Yep,
Got it.
exactly.
Okay.
Page 121. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I saw what you put in chat. I'll read that off in a minute. Let me go through this. So, Saval,
Right.
what if anything are you looking for? Okay, just making sure. And so Snake, going back to you have one of 2 ways, however you want to do this. You can ask Sam to do the repairs for you.
No.
Okay. And then the second way it is. So, you take your weapons to.
I mean, I would have charged some money anyways.
Okay.
It probably would have been less than
What they're
whatever they're
charging.
buying, but I mean, he got into the mess that damaged his weapons on his own, so therefore he should be punished for it.
That's
The
so
brotherly
nice.
way.
That's so nice.
I mean,
Actually,
he doesn't need the axe to be flaming. The axe is a perfectly serviceable weapon when it is used as an axe. It's just that the flaming adds a bit more damage and a bit more intimidation factor.
Well, Snake is only interested in professional work.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh.
I'm going to put a landmine under your pillow.
Plasma grenade.
she's got plasma
She
grenades.
just got a
Or
really
a plasma
cool
grenade,
grenade.
yeah.
No. Okay, so
You're on the outs with C2. You're on the outs with, well, you've always been on the outs with me. You're on the outs with most of the rest of the group. Does anybody in the group still like Snake?
I like her for cannon fodder.
Depends on the day.
Okay, okay.
So you are looking around for having somebody to do the repairs to your weapons. Gray, make me a charisma
Me?
each. Yep, and a charisma survival roll.
How did I get sucked into this?
You're the most observant one in the group.
That'll learn you.
Charisma,
And then-
survival, and
Charisma speech.
just trying to mind my own business.
Hey, and you got successes on both of them. So, okay. So Snake, you find somebody willing to look at your weapons and do the repairs. They are, the guy's turning the axe over and he's looking at it and he says, "I'm going to close for lunch, but I can get this done now. Give me 20 minutes. I should have the axe back up and working for you. 20 caps to get the axe working."
Okay. Yeah, that'll do.
I would charge 15.
And then he's looking at Chunky Boy. What, were you beating somebody to death with this? Good lord! What the? That's not supposed to look like that. Yeah. Let me get the axe working for you. I'm gonna go grab food. I'm back from food, getting something, FUD. It's good for you. And then when I come back, I'll take a look at the heavy incinerator. That's gonna. Everyone trying to beat somebody. Use the axe next time.
It depends on the mood that strikes me,
Okay, he's looking at you and he's grabbing the one piece and he's like, he can fit it, literally fit his hand as a fist inside the indentation. He's like, "What the hell did you hit?"
I mean, Wasteland's it's a rough place.
Yeah, tell me about it. But Jesus, that it's like, okay.
You should see my armor. It was rough.
So
And it was good armor. Fortunately, I'm harder than all of these things.
Phrasing.
That was completely intentional.
For some
I bet
reason,
it was.
the big burly armor appears and just starts playing with his hair again, and then walks up and it disappears. It's your mysterious stranger. So he comes back in a couple minutes and he holds it down. You can see that there's a smaller metal wrap around the handle. So you would grip it. You would grip it there, kind of like the weights that go on a baseball bat. Kind of like for strength training with it. The at the top, except this is down towards the bottom. So your hand will still fit fine. He showed you. It's like you put your hand in and you slide it up slightly on the shaft, the hard shaft.
Mm-hmm.
What
And,
are you describing?
Yeah.
and
Tell me more.
move your fingers around a little bit and you'll feel something. So,
Tell me more.
We've been derailed, I
A
think.
preview of his OnlyFans. Keep going.
and the switch is inside there, so he actually built like a cover guard for the switch. It won't keep the water out. It's not waterproof, but it'll at least keep that from getting damaged. And he hooks up one of the canisters, pipes it through, gives it a minute to start running, and then runs his hand. You hear the audible click as it engages, and you can watch the reddish yellow flame dance around the nimbus, dance around the edge of the blades. feeding upwards. Pilot's still at the top, and that feeds down. So, but yeah, should have that. This should be fine. I'll see you in like about a half an hour or so, maybe an hour. You want to come back and take a look?
Okay. Yeah,
Like to take a look at the other one.
I'm in no hurry.
Okay.
Have a good lunch. Catch your breath.
Yeah. I appreciate that. You have a good one. So, Miss Gray, as you're looking around and he's bickering back and forth and talking about gripping the hard shaft, see the woman that was sitting at the table when you guys were eating when you first came in. She, heading towards, very intent as to where she's going. She wasn't, she doesn't see you at all, but she's making a beeline towards. There's an area at the end of the merchant area that you're in that's cordoned off. There's various secmen, security, guards standing there. Each one's got like some sort of marker that identifies them as to what merchant faction he or she belongs to, and they're all giving each other some of them are giving each other the evil eye, and there's very little chit chat between the two of them, between the groups, I should say, that's there. But she's making a beeline towards that particular door, or cordon off area.
How far away from me is she?
I'm gonna say at this point, from where you guys are, you're pretty much at the end of the merchant row. The shops where they are, so maybe within medium range. Probably if you wander a little bit forward, there's kind of like areas that there are no shops, but if you make a sneak roll, you can probably duck into one of the little cubby holes or alleyways to get closer. If you'd like to do that, that's your call.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'd like to follow her, sort of leave the rest of the group here with the merchants. Tell Sally Sue I'll be back.
Okay.
In just a minute. But yeah, I'd like to follow her because I'm still suspicious.
Okay. Do me a roll. Let's see. We're looking at a sneak, so it's going to be agility sneak.
Oh, nice.
So you're able to slip into one of the alleyways and actually snake that even closer to where it is. Stepping over refuse and debris. You're behind several of the guards that are standing there. If you breathe too hard, the flimsy cover that you're hiding behind will fall like a house of cards built on sand, but you're able to get much closer. I'll come back. Sam, you're talking to various merchants as you're stepping through. You're figuring you could, for 50 caps, gather enough various crafting materials, and say for another 10 caps on top of that, rent a bench and start making some ammo. Won't be a lot, but it'll be enough to supplement. Say your roll combat dice equal to your luck, and we'll talk about blanks and pip boys as
Can I roll combat dice equal to Snake's luck?
No,
Oh.
only if you had Snake's luck. It would be a intelligence science roll and an intelligence repair roll. Intelligence science first, figure out what you need, how much you need, what if anything you could possibly pull off the pack Brahmin, and then intelligence repair to actually produce it yourself, and that's also renting the time. Sally Sue's able to fully intimidate the weaponsmith to share the bench And a lot of people are also doing that to capitalize on her there.
Mm.
They want to make a good impression with the lady who can bankrupt an entire settlement. Got it.
Yeah. And or it was like, hey, Sally Sue came to my shop. Hey, she didn't come to yours. Yes, I understand. I can't feed my children for the next month, but hey, she was here.
Only a month? You need to step up your game, Sally Sue.
Mhm. Working on it.
So make me the intelligence science roll.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to stop there. I'll go back to Miss Gray. So you spend the 50 caps. You got the right number of materials. You realize you can pull a little bit from to get the bench working at its fullest. It'll cost. What's your gun nut roll? What's your gun nut level? I should say.
Level 4, maxed out.
Okay, so it'll cost you 4 common crafting materials to get to get the bench up to up to speed, up to snuff, to be able to make it. On a positive note, whatever you craft, you'll add your gun nut value to the final value. So at minimum, you'll get 4 rounds.
Awesome.
So minimum. I'll let you decide. You don't have enough to get the 50 cal now. The 50 cal requires tool and dies to make the rounds. These people don't have. The powder monks would.
Got it.
But these guys can make. They can make 40. They can make 10 millimeter. They can make 308. They can make trash 22s and 5.56 rounds.
And shotgun shells, right?
And shot for the shotgun shells. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 45s are a little tougher. Make me another intelligence science roll. Switch back to Miss Gray. You can find somebody that you can air quote borrow the molds for, or to cast 45 rounds. It'll cost you an extra 5 caps if you choose to go that route. But you do have somebody that you can talk to, so just keep that in the back of your mind. I'm
going to go ahead and spend the 50 to just get everything started.
Yeah. I figured at least that would be the route you were going to go. So Miss Gray, from where you're standing, you can hear the normal guard talk, griping about hours worked, did they catch the game last night? Who's sleeping with who on the job? The normal BS.
Did you hear about the guy that fought his way through the main gate? Oh my god!
Actually, there is people talking about how they somebody punched punched Silas in the face and broke his nose, and he's got a black eye, the normal mouthing off that he was doing. The normal mansplaining that he was going through. That finally somebody just had enough.
Can there also be a rumor that he might be paying off one of the mercenary gangs to go after the guy?
Well, give her time. She just got there. So, you managed to make it to where you're at before the woman approaches. You can see, a little bit here and there through the cracks and the cuts in the sheet metal you're standing behind. But as she gets close enough, to talk among the various guards, kind of like stops, and she steps up, and you can barely make out her silhouette through the metal, and she says, Delphi to see the boss. And they all, the 2 guards that are standing there, these are, again, everybody's in some form of combat armor. They have heavy, these guys have weapons that would be on par or slightly below what Sam would carry. So they have they're modded, not to have as heavily as his would be, but they could, dish out some damage. And, the guy standing there, looks down at her, through the mirrored visor, and he turns and he pulls out, looks like looks like a key that would go like in the back of a toy to like wind up like an old style toy, and he pulls it out. This is big, say about the size of his fist. Pulls it out of a pouch, puts it into a lock on the door, and twist. And hear like a rumbling. Looking up, you see that there's an elevator descending down to to the door that they've all been standing around, and the door opens up, and barely make out something bigger standing inside the actual elevator before she steps in and it closes.
Like a person, a bigger person?
It's a shadow.
Power armor? Oh, okay.
It's a shadow. It's not. It could be power armor. Could be super mutant.
Okay.
Can't really tell. There was no sound or anything. The door just opened. She didn't even acknowledge what was standing there. She stepped in and the door closed, and you're watching the elevator go up, to the third floor. And it doesn't stop. It just keeps going. It just goes right up. And once the door closes and it's going up, you can hear the sigh of relief. The breath coming out. It's like, blind Nora, what the hell was that about? Where did did anybody know she was out on the floor? They're all chatting with each other. You get the feeling that who or what she is very important. And there's actually either depending on who they're talking, the sense of awe or the sense of I don't want to mess with her type of deal.
And her name is, did you say Delphi?
Delphi, yes.
Okay.
So, and as they're talking, among each other, somebody says, "Hey, wait a minute! If she's here, is he here too?" And you can see that you watch them all kind of just shift around a little bit, kind of like standing a little bit straighter, or looking around, adjusting themselves so that the whatever identifier that they have. They're wearing, it's kind of like a product placement. So somebody's got the Acme logo across his back on like a trash bag over his head that identifies him as Acme. So it actually does say Acme. One of them has something that for the water merchants. So he's actually got a bottle of a some sort of cartoon character carrying buckets of water. It's that type of deal. And they all kind of look around, and they're kind of more attentive now as they're watching.
But I'm pretty safe in the spot that I'm in, right?
Yeah, nobody's seen. You haven't done it. If when you go to leave, I'll have you make another roll of right now where you're standing, where you're looking, what you're listening to, and you just let me know. When you want to head back to the group.
What time of the day is it?
You guys here? You had lunch. So I'm gonna say probably like mid-afternoon. Actually, no. Looking at what you have an approximate time. You don't know how long you've been here for, but there were working clocks in the main drag, the main street, if you will, of this industrial plant. There's some sort of giant track that runs down the middle that some carts are being pushed on as they're moving stuff around, but it's whatever was here is no longer functional. But it's probably closer to it was 3:00-ish when you left the shop. So sometime after that.
Okay. I don't think I'm going to leave right away, especially if everybody seems a little bit more on edge at the moment.
Yeah, they are. They're a little more attentive. I guess you could say a little more pride in what they're doing right now.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give it a minute. I'd actually like to wait and see if she comes back down, how long she's up there. But I'm not gonna wait forever.
Okay.
So, but I'm definitely not leaving right away.
Okay. So, when Sam went to go work on the workbench, what did the rest of the group do? So for Saval, Sally Sue, and Snake, what are the three of you doing? Sally Sue, you knew Miss Gray stepped away. So what are the three of you doing while this is going on?
Snake's got to go find a dick doll.
Okay. Okay, so you go hunting for that. Sally Sue?
I'll go to the mess hall or whatever and try to get some more food and try to listen in.
Okay. But you head back to the taverns. Or a different tavern that you were already at. So, and how about you, Saval? Okay, so
he doesn't buy more jet.
Yeah.
So you're leaving Sam all by himself. So, okay,
Well, aren't you working on something?
I am working on something.
Yeah.
When you get grumpy.
Yeah. So here, have a Snickers bar.
Okay. If Sam gets kidnapped, though, it's on y'all.
I'm off on my own. I might get kidnapped.
I know.
That's also true.
Who's over here watching me? Yeah.
Fair. We're all split
Welcome
up
to the
about it.
wasteland. Yeah.
Okay. We'll wake up. We'll wake up tomorrow with bomb collars on anyway. So okay, fine.
And your
That
liver's
was very
missing.
specific.
Snake and Saval, make me a barter charisma roll. Okay.
Even have points for this.
There you go. No points. You
Heck
still
yeah.
rolled a 2. So
I'll take it.
you still rolled a 1. I'm sorry. So there you go. The devil's own luck, man. So between the two of you, so you're walking around looking, and you're talking to people, and they're like listening to you, and you're like, that's a tough thing to find. Yeah. Step out of one of the shops and you're scratching your head and you're like, hey, psst, buddy, hey, you're looking for a dick doll. Here, hey.
Okay, I'll go over wherever he is.
Okay, so you see a very short individual, not more than 3 feet tall. You're looking for a dick doll. It's like, here, follow me. Go this way. Yeah.
I'll follow him. I'm not going to say anything. I'll just keep following him.
Okay. So you're tagging along, Saval, and so leads you through a warren of damaged and destroyed. He comes to a little spot and he pushes open a piece of wood blocking up a sectional wall, holding up. It's like, hey, come on inside, quick. Yes.
I'll mosey on in.
You have to crouch down, but like I said, he's only 3 feet tall, so the door's only a little bit more than 3 feet.
All right.
You crawl through and you step inside. It's full size ceiling, so it's not crawl around. And he's like, he goes over and he pops down, little stumpy legs, sticking in the air, looking around. He's like, so I got all kinds of stuff here. I got uppers, I got downers, I got reds, I got blues, I got greens. What do you need? Yeah, I know you need a dick doll, but I'm sure there's probably something that helps, take the edge off as good as a dick doll would do. So what do you need?
Well, I'm into Psycho. I don't really need any, though. Have you got anything even better than Psycho?
I have one of these. Doesn't last long, but boy, will it get you going. Going jet together. Call it Psycho Jet.
Psycho Jet.
And he reaches over and he rummaging around and he sits down. It looks like probably a good 6 inches long, and looks like an inhaler. But Jet's usually like maybe 2 or 3. But he's like, yeah, it's like take a hit of this stuff and
How much does that the kind of thing cost?
I'll to you for 80.
80. Well, we still haven't talked about
Oh, yes,
Addictol.
the Addictol. So he's reaching over. So he pulls open. He's got a small, like a pen case would be. And he opens it up, and you can see there's a single vial inside. The Addictol. 130.
All right. Have you got? Said you have downers too. Do you have something that'll put somebody to sleep? Tranquilizer, anything like that?
Oh, you want that kind of stuff, huh?
No.
Well,
Need
let's
to
see.
settle somebody down.
Put it down, yeah.
Morphine.
Hey, eat. Hey, you don't want to fly? Eat this sandwich, Mr. T.
You know,
Well, let's see.
maybe a roofie. Drop something in his drink sometime.
Oh, do I have something for that? Oh. So don't want to know. The customer, the customer's business is his own. But yes, I do. He's like, this is harvested from some of the flowers and the pollen in the swamp. It'll take the edge off of just a. Oh, it's kind of like Daddy-O and comics, kind of mixed. But it'll take you out. It'll mellow it'll harsh your buzz, man. It'll just mellow everything out. Don't have much of it, but for you, I can give you 2 doses. Cost you 100 caps for both of them.
So we're at 310. How about a deal if I buy everything?
Oh well.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe 250.
I can do that.
We'll take all of it then, and I'll go ahead and take the Addictol straight away.
Okay. You can feel it coursing through you. Don't feel anything different really for the moment, but it's there, and he hands you the other stuff. So the powder that he described from the pollen of the plant it'll remove it'll reduce the difficulty of any perception intelligence based test, but increase the difficulty of any kind of any charisma and also strength test.
Wait, what does this stuff do?
It reduces any perception, intelligence
strength,
based
and charisma.
It reduces in perception and intelligence tests that are made by 1, but it makes charisma and strength difficult.
Oh, so it makes intelligence and perception easier? Is what you're
Easier,
saying?
yes.
Got it.
So
Okay.
it makes those
Yeah.
easier, and makes the it makes the charisma and strength rolls tougher.
Is it one harder on strength charisma?
It increases the difficulty, so instead of being a 20, it would be an 18-20.
Okay. All right.
The Psychojet is increases +2 to all attacks. Gives you +4 to physical damage resistance, and gives you 4 AP.
And of course, it's addictive too.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh yeah. Okay. All right.
And it's only brief, so it's only for that. You shoot up, and it's right then and there. But then again, you get 4 action points, so it's I want to make an extra attack and take an extra minor while you're at it. Thumbs up.
Okay. Well, Oh, you don't happen to have any cigarettes or cigars, do you?
Oh no. Um, he looks at you. He's like, no. He's like, those things are bad for you. Why would I sell those?
That's exactly why I want them.
No,
So it's
he has standards.
I'm pretty sure something will take me out before those things do.
Sam.
I make no
Your
promises.
brother.
Wow. Yep, first chance I get.
There may be a 50 caliber round that is reserved that has snake etched into it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's something else, and we'll deal with that in a minute, Sam. Thank you for reminding me with what you just said. So,
Oh, the spade shell. Yeah.
yes. So we will talk about that in a moment as you're when we get to you're making your second roll. So, so he sells you the stuff, takes the caps, and then he jets out one of the other doors. Another hatch, and he's gone. Make me a science intelligence roll.
I want to lean over on Saval and be like, oh, man, I feel so much better.
The Nichols not instant. In fact, you usually feel worse afterwards, from what it says in the book.
So
Metagaming.
you're looking at the what he just injected himself with, and you're looking and you turn it over and you just lost the money for pretty much water pumped into his veins. You can tell him that if you want, or you can tell he's right now psychosomatic. He feels better. Whether or not he's going to feel it later on, I don't know. But he that wasn't a dictal. Okay.
Wait,
Go ahead.
what?
Tell him.
I'm gonna kill him. Where'd he go? I'm gonna start going after him. Now I'm wondering if this other stuff is real too. But
Well, make rolls for the other two. Science, intelligence. Okay. Yep, one more. Okay, so you can't tell for the powder. You're not sure. And again, it's something you've never seen before, so you don't know. But the psychojet, yeah, it's psychojet. You can tell by the pungent smell coming off of it that you get off of Sam when he took his dose.
Overdrive.
That was overdrive. I know, but it has that same kind of the same kind of smell that comes from him when the sweat was pouring through his veins.
You can definitely tell it's a psycho
Derivative.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, but the addictol was yep. You got shystered.
I'm going after him.
Okay, so you pop
Like
through.
with no abandon either. I'm going quickly.
Okay. You come back out into the main thoroughfare. There's people walking around. Some people stare at you as you come barreling out. Some security, kind of looking at you, but as you stop, don't see him at all. There is no sign of that individual. Stopping and grabbing people and going, asking them, forcefully asking them, gets no result. There's no sign whatsoever of this individual.
I'm gonna pick a direction, random direction, and go.
Okay. So you're heading back towards the way that you came, but you're picking your random direction.
Yeah.
Sally Sue, you're go into the you find a different tavern to sit down. 2 caps for a bottle of beer without the cap.
Okay.
Guards! There's a crazy man in the thing in the marketplace. Well, no shit. Yeah, there's a lot of crazy people in that.
Can I drink 2 beers at once?
Yes, but this time is actually
Only if you
true.
have the beer hat. If you'd like to buy a beer hat, you can buy a beer hat.
Oh. How much
Yes.
is the beer at? No.
So you can get a Duff beer hat, a commemorative Duff beer hat. Let me find it. Hold on. Wrong one. Wonder. Yes.
Yes, and if we were playing Fallout 76, it would have 2 bottles of Nuka Shine.
10 caps.
Okay.
Has no value whatsoever. Goes on your head. Has pipes and a cup holder connected to a funnel on either side that allows the wearer to enjoy a refreshing drink with their hands are free. Outside of combat, may fill with beer, but beer hat with 1 beverage of your choice. During the combat, you can consume the beverage as a minor action rather than as a major. So you could load it up, have it sitting there. The straws are in. You can just go to the straw and sip away.
I can wear it over my hood.
You can wear it over your hood. Yes. Yep.
Okay, well,
the straw is long enough that it'll fit underneath into your mouth.
I'll go ahead and fill it with 2 beers.
Okay. You're talking and listening to people wander, as they're coming in. A lot of talk about you learn that there are the 2 mercenary factions that are duking it out. Apparently, they found several operational. 2 groups found them in the same building, several operational typewriters, and they are going through a contest, if you will, to see who gets to keep the typewriters. The one group is the Jackals. They're an up and coming group, small. Not many not as prominent as members, but they're slightly better equipped as some of the other factions that are here. And the other one is the Razor Wings. Had their motif is based upon the they're a little more well established from what you learned, but they have the numbers, but not the gear. But getting a hold of operational typewriters that they can sell, is a feather in the cap for both of them, and they can also go along. And that gives them the prestige of not only what the caps that they gain. You also hear you're there, and you can hear people at a table joking and laughing. And this big dumbass, he gave me all his caps to buy some some of the chems I was selling. Bought the Addictol that I had. You mean the watered down shit that you had in the He gave me 130 caps for it. Yeah, so the beer, so the drinks are on you. Yeah. I got you. Yeah. So, you look over and you can't see who's talking, but from the table that they're sitting at, but you can see them. They're talking back and forth. You think what?
So I was to myself, I'm sure they're talking about Snake. What an idiot.
So swinging back around to you, Sam, and then we'll come back to Miss Gray. Make your intelligence. So tell me what you're trying to craft, and then make your intelligence repair roll.
What types of ammo are we most in need of? I know Gray goes through 10 mil pretty fast.
Yep.
And there are more 308 weapons now in the group.
Yeah, which is why I'm thinking you might want to get more 308 to just bulk out everybody's supply.
Yeah.
I know that we have several weapons that fire 45 in the group, but at the same time, they aren't as numerous or as regularly used at the moment.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking just 308 and 10 millimeter. And yeah, I've got plenty of shotgun shells, and I'm assuming Sally has a nice supply as well.
No, I have 13.
You have 30?
Yep.
In decent supply, yeah.
Okay. So make me your intelligence repair roll.
And repair.
And then roll the number of Pip Boys equal to your luck die.
Not many.
Like 4.
As I said, not many.
So you managed to make 17 308 rounds.
That's not bad.
I'll take 3 for myself, and then give 7 each to Saval until I see next I see him.
The Pip Boy that you rolled, the bonus for that is, so even with the blanks, like I said, whatever you would have rolled, I've added 4 too, so that's why you got the 16. So 1 for the Pip Boy. But the Pip Boy head that popped up, you've only used 3/4 of the amount of ammo or materials that you had. So you have enough to make 1 more roll if you want to make the 10 millimeter. It'll only give you 1 die worth of ammo.
Might as well.
Roll me another combat die. Just 1 die. So you get 6 rounds.
I'll make sure to give those to Gray next I see you.
And that will exhaust
Yay.
everything that's there.
And to everybody, you can note down that.
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Yep.
It all helps.
So, Saval and Snake, you're storming through, looking high and low, literally, for the individual. You're back at the entrance. Nobody's seen anybody that matches your description. The few times that you've accosted people that kind of do that, it's not the same person. So you have not this individual. Yeah.
I'll reply with I can't see him because I didn't see him, right?
I can't see him.
But I overheard someone talking about selling a fake Addictol to someone, bragging about here in this tavern. I don't know if that's the guy you're looking for.
Sam does not hear because he's got his helmet off while he's working on the ammo.
Well, at least someone heard me.
Yeah.
And I get the name of the tavern.
Let's go.
Miss Gray, make me a agility sneak roll. You're standing there. You've been waiting, watching. You can see that the elevator's coming back down, and suddenly there's like this, reach or noise in your ears and Sally Sue comes on and she's talking, but the people standing in your area are like, "Hey, did you hear that? Yeah, something just came through on the radio, but I couldn't hear what it was."
Oh.
Maybe let's see if I can clear this up and try to figure out where they were. Yeah, but why did it sound like it's close by? You can see people looking around.
But that's a success, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna keep. Well, is there any way I can? I don't quite know the space that I'm sort of hiding in. Is there like a way that I can move or no? Would that just draw more attention to me?
The roll that you made would allow you to reposition yourself, so you can do that.
Reposition myself, but still be able to keep an eye on the elevator in case she comes back down?
Correct. You wouldn't be able to hear anything, but you have the area that you would be moving into would give you a better vantage point.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Do that. You whirl yourself away somewhere else, and you're able to watch. You do notice that the elevator is coming back down from where you're at and where you're looking. You've probably been there for close to from. You figure at least a half an hour.
Okay. I'm going to switch my radio off too as I move.
Okay. So, you're watching the elevator come down. Door opens up, and you have a better view inside. Whatever's inside is definitely not human, or it doesn't have a human form. It looks like a giant wedge, if you will. You can see it's very mechanical in the way it moves. Put it that way.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
So looking around, and you're watching. You can see she steps out. Scowl on her face. Everybody's steps too. Looking in every direction except for where she is right now, and she's heading off. She heads out and just power walks. Stalks across the floor and disappears into the crowd. Everybody kind of
Is she walking away from me?
Oh yeah, she's walking. So you're imagine from where you're sitting. That's your vantage point, and the area directly, if you're straight ahead and to your right, is where she came out at. So you're able to turn your head, kind of like the side glance, looking that way. She walks directly past you, and continues off to your left and disappears from your field of vision within moments of getting off the elevator.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'm done here. I did hear Sally Sue give the name of the tavern, so I'm gonna head that way.
Okay. So, Sam, make me each charisma roll. Make me 2, actually.
Okay.
So you're talking with the weaponsmith whose bench you're using, and he's listening to you as you're puttering about, and the casual conversation. You probably strike it up that way. And so, what do you ask him specifically about the weapon, or the round that you have, I should say?
I ask him if he's ever heard of somebody who uses custom loaded 308, and they leave their inscription on the casings or something. Say spade.
He has to see it around, and he's looking at it. Runs his finger across, and it's raised, and he's looking like. Every 308 round, he just points to what you're doing. It's like it's kind of custom cast, so can't say for that. Like he flips it over and he's looking at the bottom, and he's like dips it in some sort of oil. I'm gonna continue to wipe it off. There's no he's like, well, that's okay. So he flips over one of the rounds that you're working on, and you can see where it says like Remington. Another one says Winchester. Another one says Savage. So these are the people that who made the brass using right now.
Companies, right?
So this is nothing.
So,
but it's as good as he showed you. He's holding around. He's holding an empty cartridge in each hand. This is as good as he shakes his left hand, which has the round you just gave him, versus one of the rounds that you weren't able to complete. And like this is as good as that. So he hands you the thing back. Whatever this is, whoever made this is pre-war ammunition.
got it.
whoever was on the receiving end of this, if it didn't, drop them outright, was very lucky. This is and he shows you, and you've seen this too, with some of the ammunition that you have in your possession. Whatever round was loaded into the cartridge was not a standard round like you're making right now. So, what it was, can't tell you. You would have to see it. But it was some sort of the round was obviously different. I'll keep an eye out for you, but that's about the best I can do. I don't know anybody here who has that. I haven't seen anybody request it, and it's between me, you, and the Rad Rats. There's not many people here who I can fix stuff. I can add weapons, mods to weapons and so forth. I don't have that skill set. He points at what you just did. But I'm watching you. I can probably muddle through it. But whatever recipe that you use to make this, I don't have.
Understood.
So somebody here who's doing that inside here. No, there's nobody inside here. Somebody outside. One of the merc encampments may have somebody here who's doing it, or who has access to it, or has access to this ammunition. So if you haven't been upstairs, you want to go talk to them. You got the Mustangs, Jackals, Razor Wings.
Hold on.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to write down the mercenary groups. We have Mustangs,
Razor Wings, Jackals, Vultures.
Jackals. We know about the Vultures.
Oh, you know about Vulture? You know about the Vulture mercenaries? You haven't met these people yet, so.
Yeah. Are those the main four, or are there others?
There are two smaller ones that are going through the process of a merger to try to compete with the others. That would make the Jackals the next smallest. That would make the Jackals the smallest one at that point in time. Jackals have better gear, but they don't have the numbers. Mustangs and the Razor Wings have the numbers, but their gear is normal, standard, regular. The Vultures are specialist. Most of their guys are close combat or protection detail. So they're the higher muscle that'll go around with other guards, protecting the whoever their principal is, the VIP that's paying them. The Razor Wings are mediocre.
Are what?
Mediocre. They have people, but a lot more of their people are cannon fodder. People who think that they're badasses and couldn't fight their way out of a wet paper bag.
Got it.
But you take enough chems and anything's possible at that point in time.
Sounds like they're a little more than a raider band.
I wouldn't say that to them, especially here, because there's if you're going to start something, he says, quiet when you do it. Don't let anybody see you. There is firearms everybody carries a gun. So the moment one person starts shooting, everybody's going to start shooting. And the Baron kind of frowns upon that. He's got
understandably.
He's got the juice to make everybody's life miserable. And whatever you do, don't start shooting at the merchant guilds. Any of the merchant guild muckety bucks. They definitely got juice.
Got it.
Got a customer, so I'll let you get back to what you're doing. Sally Sue, you're watching, especially since Saval radios back to you, and then Gray said, said something to the effect she's on her way, and you're listening to what everything going on, and you can't see the person talking. Short of getting up and walking out, you're not going to see that table. From looking around, there's 8 or 9 people sitting at the table. And there's, they're all laughing and joking, talking. From what gear and armament wise, light combat armor, some guns, some melee weapons. One guy's walking, has a super sledge, hanging off his back. And he's commenting he just bought it today. Somebody was selling it, so he managed to get it for a pretty good deal. Snake and Saval. So the establishment is directly in front of you. What you're doing.
What are we doing?
Yes.
I want to go in, and I want to go in not all blustery. I want to go in quiet because I want to find this guy, and I don't want him to slip out the back.
Okay.
Actually, I before I do this, I lean over to Saval and I say, this asshole's already slipped out of our fingers once. I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to slip out the back. You want to swing around and keep an eye on the back side of this place?
Okay. So you find takes you a couple minutes to sneak around, to work your way around back. You find a spot that where there's a door. You step in, you find yourself in a kitchen area. People kind of stop. They're looking. It's like kind of look at you, and then they're going back to what they're doing. And you're standing there looking around. You can see where people are going in and out. So so you're able to. Yes, if they're short of going through one of the windows, which is possible, you're able to get into position. Since you don't have a headset on, Snake, are you waiting for? How you can't count. You can't. How long do you choose to wait?
I just wait a while.
Okay. Fair enough. So you can see where Sally Sue's sitting. Sally Sue, you eventually do see, only because it's kind of hard to miss them from time to time. You do see Snake standing there. He's kind of.
I imagine he's attempting to look like one of those Indian statues that you sometimes see outside cigar shops.
I point in the person's general direction.
Okay, so you can see her pointing at one of the tables.
Okay, I head that direction and see if I see this guy.
Okay, Gray, you are approaching the tavern. So do you let anybody know that you're there, or?
No, I'll just go in because I don't know that Snake is doing this whole thing, right? Well, I heard.
No, you have no idea.
I guess I heard Saval's message and Sally's response because that's how I know the name of the tavern.
Right.
But I'll just go in and find Sally Sue.
Okay. So you step in. You can see Snake making a beeline to a table. You see Sally Sue just sitting there, and it's almost like it's like one step away from sitting there with popcorn, just waiting for the train wreck to happen. So you know, you look around. You know, Saval was with him. You have no clue where Saval is right now. So
I wave to Gray and point
Yeah.
to my new beer hat.
Sally
Nice.
Sue
I
has.
like your hat.
It says Duff Beers on the front. It's a faded yellow. Duff Beers is in red, and you notice that she has 2 beers there, straw going underneath her hood, and there's several empties sitting on the table.
Yeah, I'll order a beer.
You're up to 12 caps for the beers that you spent so far, Sally. No effect. I mean, they're just bringing them and putting them down and kind of just looking at you, and you're just siphoning them in as you swapping them out as necessary.
I assume they take the caps back with them.
Oh, the caps aren't on there when they're dumb. They're not stupid. So yeah, you're not forgiving her. It's like it costs you 2, but we're giving you 1. So, looking around. So Snake, you approach the table. You can see there's 7 men, 2 women, various armor, as I described previously, combat armor of different types, both firearms and weapons. You recognize one of the super sledges that the group had sold today as in the possession of one of the men, and you step over to the table, and it's like somebody they all stop and look at you and say, "Can we help you?"
Is that guy there?
No.
Is he at the table? No.
He's not at the table. All the seats are occupied. You can see everybody's talking. You can see that there is a woman sitting there, a younger woman, looking around. She looks up too. You can see there's a look of recognition that goes through her eyes, through her face. And then she kind of very intently starts staring at the bowl of food she has in front of you, and starts taking a couple bites and going about. And everybody's kind of just looking at you, and somebody says, "Hey, can I help you?"
This woman. Can I do I'm wondering if there's a disguise involved. Can I do any sort of check to?
Yeah, make a perception. Okay, so we're gonna, or you can opt to spend a luck point to use luck instead. It'll be 2 separate things. So it'll be both a out of your choice, charisma or luck each. So you can the mannerisms and such as people are talking, and also as you're staring bullets through what you think, what you're not sure about, and a perception sneak. See if there was a disguise involved or some sort of
I'll spend luck. I'm pissed and still kind of addicted, I guess. So I will spend.
Oh
luck.
yeah, you're jonesing right about now. You realize that the adrenaline from you power walking through the complex has gotten you you got the urge back again.
Okay, I'm not even gonna wait then. I'm going to use luck.
Okay.
Do I need 1 luck point or 2?
Whatever's better for you. If you want to go with a luck speech roll or a luck sneak roll.
Oh, I still need a roll though.
Yes, you still need a roll.
Okay, I will do a luck. It honestly doesn't matter. Sneak and speech are both the same.
Okay.
So I'll do luck. I'll do luck sneak.
Okay. Okay, there you go. So you're looking at you step over closer to the table. So if the monitor directly in front of you is the distance you are from the table at this point in time. So if you can reach out and touch the monitor, you can reach out and touch the table. So where you're sitting. So and for anybody listening, just to give you a visual cue, nobody. The response from the table is one of wariness. People are reaching. Their hands are dropping beneath the table. either to go for a weapon or whatnot, or to flip the table. You haven't responded. The woman's kind of sitting there, and she kind of looks up, and it's kind of like somebody look, kind of like you just scolded a child, and the child's looking down and looks up at you, looks down, looks up at you, and you're staring there. There's no disguise per se that you can tell. She's obviously bigger than this person was that sold you the stuff, but she definitely is guilty of sin.
But it's not the actual guy.
No, it's not the actual guy. It's not the dwarf. It's not the dwarf that you encountered. No.
And the dwarf is not amongst any of these other folks.
No, everybody else is. She's a very small human, but a young girl. So but the regular people, everybody else is adults. And now they're starting to get you can through the haze and everything, as you're standing there staring, you can hear people saying, hey, what's your problem, buddy? Hey, stop staring, or what's going on? Waitress comes over. It's like, can I get you guys anything?
So I'm gonna lean over to the table.
Okay.
Oh, I want to lean over the table. I'm going to look at her, but I'm going to say this to the whole table, and I'm going to say, now, I've been spending a lot of money here today. All my deals were fine except for one. I'm going to make that right. And I'm going to do that by asking you all nicely, because I think you know who screwed me over. And I'm going to ask nicely for information as to how to make that right. And if I am not happy with the information that I get, none of you will live before you stand up again.
Make me a strength speech roll.
Speech.
Ooh.
Figure that would be the best. The way what you said, and then intimidation. Especially if you've brandished a weapon, or or as you're leaning on the table, and just the creaking of the metal as you're gripping it. They all kind of look at each other, and they're looking around at the table, and then now they're all looking at her, and they're looking at you, and they're looking at her. One of the guys at the end of the table, he's like he brings both his hands up above, and he's holding them up, and he places palms down on the table there, and he's like, "Let me talk with the people here. We'll see about." And he just kind of looks around, making it right. Fair?
I'm waiting.
Okay. So, like, and he stops, and he's looking, and he's like, "So, anybody deal with this guy today?" Everybody's no, and it, well, the girl's like, "Well, not in person." Closes his eyes. Okay. And then he stops, and he looks at you, Snake, and he's like, "This is the guy?" And she's like, "Kinda, yeah." Stops, and he's what were you and he's like, "What were you cheated out of?"
I will say, I was looking for some Addictol. Some water. Oh, I'll say, I was looking for Addictol, and someone sold me water instead.
One of the people at the table starts to snigger, and until they get an elbow in the side.
Oh, I give him a dirty look too.
Yeah, they're-
I mean, I'm
yeah,
a little on edge anyway.
that person's like counting, how many rivets are in the ceiling. It's like, oh, nope, nothing to see here. And
Yeah.
so you're seeing all this, going down. You can see that there are other people. Everybody within reason is kind of paying attention to the little drama that's unfolding, and you can see caps being changed. As people are placing bets apparently. Miss Gray, you take a seat at the table that Sally Sue is at. And the waitress comes over, puts your beer down. That's 2 caps, just so you know. And goes about her business. So you're hearing Snake everything that he's saying. Saval, you're chased out of the kitchen by the chef wielding a meat cleaver. As this is all going down, you can hear pots and pans go clattering, and you just see Saval coming out, backing out of the kitchen, with a rather irate man, standing there. He's got a meat cleaver in one hand, and he's got a butcher knife in the other, and he's like, "Get out of my kitchen!
Get off my lawn!"
While this is going on, what does Sam come in at any point, or?
No, you're still making ammo, and you were chatting with the guy about the the rounds, that specialty round, the pre-war round, learning about the mercenaries and what's going on, numbers and so forth.
Sam is currently in his happy place.
Yep.
Yeah. No. Okay.
So, and you're, so everybody kind of, everything, and again, everything stops, and everybody's looking at you, Saval. So, the eyes of the worlds are now upon you. As you're backing away from this,
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, it's, this, one of the cooks with the cleaver, and so he's the guy who's talking, he's like, "What do you have left?" Pulls out a bag and puts it down. Looking at it, and she's like, "I think there's like 82 here." Assuming what you gave her is, or what you gave to whoever you bought this from, it's more than 82 caps.
Oh yeah, it was more than 82 caps for the Edictal. That's not gonna square this. There's a simple solution here. I'll look at her and say, "Bought a Dictal. I want a Dictal."
And she's almost on the verge of tears. She pushes the cap. That's all I got left. I had to pay other people off. He looks at the group at the table. How much did you? Was I the 82? How much did you spend for the Edictal?
120. So as you can see, we're only about halfway there.
Snake math.
Yeah, Snake's
Somebody's about to say something, and again, this is somebody else, and they catch an elbow in the ribs. He looks at the table. Put up the difference. But she's the one who fucked up. It's not us. He's going to paint, and he just stops and he looks at the people at the table. He's going to paint the table in our blood. He's probably going to be able to do it before most of us get a weapon free. I know some of you probably already have weapons free, and he's just shrugging his shoulders. He's going to still paint the table with our blood. And if you miss at this range, trying to kill him or shoot him, you're going to shoot one of us. Pony up. Now everybody comes and they're sort of reaching in the pouches. The man boobs come up and coins fall out type of deal. You get your 120 back. He's like, and again he holds up his hands. He's like, I can't get you a Dictol. I'll tell you that right now. I don't know anybody in this entire building that can get you a Dictol. Even if you go see the Sawbones up on level 3. Or level 2, I'm sorry. The level above us. I don't think any of them could get you a Dictol. If a merchant comes through with something, I'll try to square it up with you. At least you get your money back for what you spent.
All right. One more matter to deal with. And there's drinks on the table. This girl is here.
Oh, yeah.
Those 2 doses of powder. So we know that the psycho is real.
Yep.
I'm gonna take those 2 doses of powder out. I'm gonna say, now I don't know if this is real. We're gonna find out. And I'm gonna take one of the doses of powder. I'm gonna put it in a drink, and I'm gonna tell this girl, go ahead and drink it. And I'm going to see what happens. If it works, we're done here. If it doesn't work, we're not done here.
She's looking at you and she's like, but like, and he just looks at her and he said, you're fuck up. You're to fix. And she kind of just hangs her head and she pushes, they take one of the other drinks that, when the waitresses come by, she drops stuff off and they hand it to you. It's some sort of like, it's alcohol. You just don't know what it is. You can't really tell.
That's the best kind.
Drop it in.
Cocktails at their best.
And, swirl around a little bit so it mixes in, it fizzes a little bit. Hand it back to her. Like, what do you want me to do?
Drink up.
Yeah. Well, no, he's the guy. You realize that's the boss of the group or the leader.
Oh no, I'm talking to the girl.
Oh,
Well,
I know.
I'm wanting the girl to drink it.
Yeah, she takes it from him. So now you have underage drinking going on. The establishment will be closed down if the license and inspection comes in.
Snake is roofing a young girl publicly.
There's a reason I was
we're gonna
slapping
see
the
what
expert
happens.
earlier. Nobody listened.
So she takes the drink. She grimaces as the alcohol as she drinks it. Sits it back down. You can see the color of her skin change slightly. She gets like that green tinge, around, and you just watch her eyes just roll, back in her head, and she kind of just like one of the other people at the table catches her in time from before she slams headfirst into the food she has in front of her.
Okay, I'll take the 120 caps and I'll say we're done here, and I'll walk away.
You hear the sound of a chair being pushed back as you're turning.
I look. I make sure
it's
no
the guy.
one's doing anything.
Nope, it's just the guy you were talking to. He goes over and checks on her, lays his hand against her neck just to make sure, getting and you've seen Saval do that to check and see if, the person's still alive. So you kind of know what's going on. He steps over and he's like, where do... He stops. I was about to ask where you're staying so I could, if I find something, that would be awfully suspicious. He's like, no. So we are here. We're in town the next couple weeks. We link up with one of the caravans heading out. We'll be here in this tavern. Check back in whenever you like. If I have anything for you, I'll make sure you get it. He holds his hand out to you.
I shake it and I say, I'm glad this didn't have to go any further.
So is the rest of us sitting at the table.
All right, very good.
Yep, and his grip is as firm as yours. He's not trying to macho man you or anything like that. So you can see a pair of white clubs hanging from his waist, one on either side. Beyond that, if he has a gun, it might be hanging on the back of the chair or he left in his room. But he nods and he's like, and he goes back. And she's, somebody's picking her up, and he just like take her to the room. She'll be out for the next day or so. Just so you know, when he looks at you, is like that stuff on a normal sized person might have an hour at the most. Or and when they wake up, they're going to be all kinds of messed up.
Noted. And that's what I was hoping for. Glad to see that was real. Because I sure as hell wasn't sure.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, the longer you're in the area, the more you'll become, get used. Just a word to the wise: this occurs naturally. So if you get a face full of this, points at her. He kind of pointing at points at one of the people sitting at the table, and a gas mask. Stuff will go right through that. Very, very careful. Just a word to the wise.
Keep that in mind. A lot of the people that I've happened to run across often have face masks. Something like this could be useful.
With that, he heads back to the table, sits down, and you just watch his shoulders just slump. It's like he's holding up his hands as everybody's at the table, kind of just looking at him. It's like, let it go for right now. Get her back to her room. Yeah, but she just got, and he slams his hand down on the table. I said, let it go for right now. He's kind of just watching in your general direction as you're walking away. Gray and Sally Sue, the dinner and the show has come to a conclusion. There'll be a brief interlude, a matinee, and then the next show will start within the next hour. So, with that note, I'd like to take a 10-minute break, and I'll be right back.
Yay! All right.
Okay.
Back.
Welcome back.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
That was fun.
Yeah.
I absolutely knew what Snake would do, but I did not know if he would actually end up in a fight or not.
That would have been messy.
Yes.
It would have been messy, but that would have been fine too. Fortunately, Eddie had my back.
Yep.
Saval had my back. But yeah, that was fun. I really didn't know if we were going to get in a fight or not.
For once you didn't.
I know.
You're not the Snake we used to know.
He's a real boy
He's-
now.
He's grown up so much.
Bye bye.
I should roll for limpness.
We need to work that into every session.
Yep.
I'll do my best. Oh, yep, ready whenever you are. Snake, you walk out of the tavern, if you will.
Yeah, and I'll nod at Addie. Well, it's Sally Sue. If she's ready to go, I'll be like, nod to let's go. And I imagine she'll let I would imagine she'll let Saval know too.
I'm here too.
And
I
Saval's
like
in the room at this
Where,
point.
where were you?
I was sitting next to Sally Sue at the bar, drinking a beer, watching
Oh.
the show.
Oh, I didn't realize you'd walked in yet. Oh yeah, I'll nod at both of you then. Be like, let's go.
Apparently Snake's ready to go, so everybody's gonna leave now. So come on, let's go.
Yeah, we can find another bar. I would imagine there's a little too much tension at this bar.
Sally,
Oh,
you're not.
them.
Yeah, you're unfortunately you weren't able to get in on any of the action for the the coins that were the caps that were changing hands. But quite a bit of caps went back and forth, watching what was going on.
Can I refill my beer hat before we go?
Another 4 caps, and you're good to go.
Okie dokie.
Before we leave, I'm gonna walk over to the guy. I think you said he's sitting back at the table, kind of fuming. I'm gonna walk over to him and I say, "Will you let me know tomorrow if she's okay?"
He's like, he nods. Yeah, that was an awful lot of that stuff but
And I'll say, we've got a medic in our group. If she needs medical attention, we'll be sure to send him to you.
okay. He nods and he's very appreciative of that. Thank you. The rest, there's a couple of the other people at the group, especially as you approach and how everything went down. There's a bit of tension there, but they appreciate that too. So, got to learn a lesson somehow, and unfortunately,
I'll say
next couple hours, we'll know one way or the other. But yeah, thank you. He appreciates that.
That's too hard of a lesson to learn in such a hard way.
Yeah.
And I'll leave.
Okay. So during all this time, nobody's seen Sam. Obviously, he's somewhere. Yeah. So he with one of them, the weaponsmiths. Snake. You realize that the half an hour that you were going to wait is long since passed, if you will. So do you head back to that particular the weaponsmith that you were asking for repairs? Okay.
Yeah, because I gotta find out what's gonna happen with Chunky Boy too.
Okay.
And I would have had to do that fight with just my fists and maybe Excalibur or baseball bats. So I'm thinking about
Oh, no, your axe was fixed. You had your axe with you.
Oh, already. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he had that fixed before he went to went to go eat.
Oh, okay, good. Even better for intimidation then.
Yeah. You come back and he's like, he sits there and he lays it out on the table, pulls some lights down, gets lights it all up, gets some tools out, has his tongue sticking out, he's licks his thumb, kind of like holds it up in front of the thing, just shrugs his shoulder, and then starts taking it apart. I was about to make a joke about hey, good news and bad news. I just saved 15% of my car insurance, but he's looking he but I'm like, nah, that's not appropriate here. So he's looking at what what's here, and you just see him just taking mangled pieces of metal and bent tubing and something that looks like a dead rat that kind of got fused into it, and he's like can't even offer you something better. I would say just take this and throw it into the trash, but all the add-ons and stuff here, some of the stuff I can't even take off.
Yeah, we're gonna have to find a way to fix this one.
Okay. I can fix. The good news is I can fix it. Bad news is it's going to take me time to fix it. I got everything that you need here within the shop. I'll pull some parts from things that haven't sold, and I can put that there. I need at least a minimum of a week. Take everything apart, see what's run stuff through. I'll keep this canister of gas. I'll test with that. I'll see what leaks, what doesn't. I don't want to put it back together and have you go to light it and it blows up on you. That's kind of bad for business, and you might come back and kill me. And he just says that matter of fact, and kind of shrugs his shoulders and looks at it like, so if you can go with, obviously it's not if, but you're going to have to go without it for a week. I'll take it apart. If unless there's something here that's absolutely totally trashed, I'll put it back together for you, and we'll have to test it, and it may have to come back into the shop and be tweaked again. Is that acceptable?
Yeah, that'll work. How much does that gun cost?
Figure if you give me 40 up front and 40 when we're done, I'll get started.
That'll work. I'll give him 40 caps.
Okay. So, you start. You pay out, and the rest of you can find Sam. Based upon where you're at, you can actually see him. Sitting there, head bobbing back and forth as he's reloading and crimping and and filing things off, and generally and he's chatting with the guys watching him do it. Miss Gray, you see no sign of Delphi at all. None at all. You do see some of the Baron's guards walking through. They're distinguished from all the others. Again, it's product placement. They have a blue almost like a waist sash, like a cloth wrapped around their waist with a bit hanging down, kind of like I'm just trying to. I don't have an accurate way of describing it. So it's just a band of cloth that's blue, tied off, and there's like the tie off is kind of like hanging down between their legs, and so you can see that they patrol in groups of at least 4, and they're walking through. Heavy combat armor for all of them. And light machine guns, actually. So a bit odd, given the fact that if they open up, anything that gets in their path is just going to, be in a world of hurt. Everybody, including you, Sam, make me a perception. This is more observing what's going on. You guys making the rolls?
Perception what?
You said
Perception was-
perception.
Yeah.
Perception, speech. I'm sorry.
Oh,
We were all just waiting.
Okay, sorry about that. Well, yes, it's just Saval. Okay, so you all kind of clue in on the same thing. The armor and gear here, while not as heavily modified or fancy, like you saw from like Oakhallville, there's nobody walking around like in the same suit of armor that Snake has. But the fact that almost anybody who has kind of body armor here is some form of combat armor. Seems kind of strange. It's like, and the armor's the same. It's got this, all the little latches and belts and hooks and everything are all in the same spot. So it's like, either it was produced at this location, or there was a very large cache of gear was found, but everything seems to have that kind of commonality to it. Sally Sue and Gray. See on one of the suits of armor, on the shoulder pad, on the the cap that goes over the shoulder, so a pauldron there. There is a Vault-Tec, and then you can see that there looks like there was a number or something written underneath there that was torn off. But the Vault-Tec lettering is still visible on the shoulder.
I point that out to the others.
We had heard rumors that there was a vault in the swamp. And that would definitely seem to suggest that there might be something to the rumors.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
What?
Sam, you're able to hand over the your freshly minute rounds to the group, to Ray, Saval, Sally Sue.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Heading back to. It's getting towards evening. Many of the shops are closing up. You can hear music up above you, from the the mezzanine, whatnot. Returning home. Some people are leaving the complex. You can see there's a large group down by the entrance that are being that are heading out. Have the opportunity to explore further if you wish. You did the merchant area. You still have the. You can head upstairs to see the mercenaries. Want to go talk to anybody at the guilds? You have the opportunity to do so now, as everybody's kind of coming off shift or relaxing.
If anything, I would say the mercenaries, just so we could potentially find information on the shell casing. And if there's any particular mercenary group, I would say the two best to go with would probably be the Mustangs and maybe the Jackals. The Mustangs because we have an inn, and the Jackals seem like they're well equipped, so that means they might have good information.
Yeah, I'm down with that. I'd like to learn more about Delphi.
Okay.
Mercenaries might know more. Mercenary gangs might know more about the politics of this place.
Sure. Yeah.
Good with me.
Yeah.
Okay. So, heading upstairs, climb the stairs, working your way through the crowds and everything. You find yourselves stepping into a large, open area, divided by partitions. You can see that various mercs with displaying their symbol. For the Jackals, it looks like it's a hound of some sort, head open, baying at the moon. The Mustangs you already know. The Vultures you already know. The Razor Wings is a razor wing type of bird, so it looks like a raven with silver edging on its wingtips. And then there's the other group that still hasn't determined what their new logo or icon's going to be. Everybody is, when they see the group, everybody's kind of clamoring to, sign you up. Are you looking for work? Who do you guys feel? What outfit do you fight for? Who? Daddy, and what does he do? That type of deal. You're able to easily find the Mustangs right off the bat. The Vultures apparently are farther back down towards the end of the area. They hold a large, spot. They, as large as the Mustangs on this floor. You can see that there's a sign leading to another hallway that says medical. So the docks or whatnot are down there. So makes sense that close by to the to the people that are probably paying most of their bills. Stepping over to the Mustangs, you're stopped by a small fire plug of a man looking at you. He's like, yeah, what's your business here? That you're shitting. You ain't coming here to work for us.
Captain Rodriguez sends his regards and would like to request reinforcements.
Stops and he's staring. Looks at the two guards that are standing there. The other people kind of like perk up as they're playing cards or whatnot. Follow me. He just does an about face and starts.
I follow after him.
What are the rest of you doing?
I guess we're all following.
Yeah, I'll follow.
Okay. So, steps up to a door, knocks, and walks inside, and hear him talking to somebody. He comes back out. As if you eventually, as you catch up to him, and come on inside. Sitting behind a desk, and you can see there's a large map on the wall of Germantown, what the area that you're looking at now. Fortress, and, the lake, and and gentleman, sitting behind the desk, kind of looks up, and he stops, and he's like, "So what's this? Tell me again what you said to the sergeant here."
Some time ago, we passed through the Powder Monks compound south of here, and made the acquaintance of Captain Rodriguez. We helped remove some dust devils that had made a nuisance of themselves. And in the process, some of Captain Rodriguez's men died. He would like to request some reinforcements.
He was writing some things down. He walks over to the map and lifts the map up of the town, and he flips over to a larger map. You don't get only briefly, you don't get a good look at it, but you know that there's more icons on the map than what you have on yours. And he stops and he drops it back down. I will explain why everything's late. Who do we have that we can send? Well, Harry and the boys to head out. color green, but what we got available to us. He nods and the sergeant, steps out of the room. He walks over to you and shakes your hand, Sam. He's like, appreciate the heads up. We hadn't heard from anything, and the ammo shipment from the Powder Monks hasn't made it. We haven't had anything since since the dust storms and everything hit. So the fact that he ran into trouble there, got word out. And unfortunately, our repeaters are down, so we haven't heard anything even from that. And he gestures to the you as you're looking around the room, and you all see this along one wall is multiple ham radios. Some are interlinked, some are sitting there by themselves. So we and a couple of the other work groups have utilized a radio system to talk to each other and also to relay information from whatever our groups are. So, looks back over at the group. That's how we know that that's Sally Sue.
I wave.
He waves back. So your reputation precedes you, young lady. Pleasure to make your acquaintance, and ask that you don't bring death and ruination upon all of us here.
I'll think about it. I'm just kidding.
He chuckles with that. Reaches over and he takes it out. Then he offers to the group. He offers cigarettes, or a cigarette, to anyone who wants one.
Snake will be like, can I have an extra one for C2 for a friend of mine?
I'm just asking for a friend. I know how that works. He's like, he nods and he hands you two. Yeah, and I realize that C2 will never see it, but
I mean,
Yeah.
C2 is still getting over the fact that his entire cigarette supply was stolen from him.
It wasn't stolen from him.
it was appropriated for his.
You shook him down. You literally shook him down.
You did. You did pick him up by his little poogies and shake him until whatever fell out. So.
Yes, you are officially on C2's shit list.
And
Well,
and that might actually include actual shit too. So
I will save that one for C2.
Cigarette of peace.
He Zippo lighter lights up his, lights up yours. So he's like looking. It's like, yeah, it's like we got a few groups out there that we haven't heard from. We got a few, some of the repeaters are down, so we got repair teams out there trying to fix them. Which means if they're out there fixing them, we ain't making money. So it's a catch-22, but that's what But the fact that they ran into problems there is good to know that everything's been resolved. Hopefully they'll be able to get ammo to us soon.
Disappearing groups is kind of a recurring issue in this region, it seems.
I'm assuming that, if you've dealt with the Dust Devils, you probably dealt with the Black Vultures. So yeah, there's problems with them. They've been wreaking havoc. They're from the campus. Then you got the crazies who are pretty much just eating their way through anything that's got a heartbeat.
We've met their acquaintance on a number of occasions. Never ends well.
No. And unfortunately, the fighting down south, which is where the crazies are coming from, is just adding more anger, if you will. I'd say nuke them, but nobody's got really, got to find a nuke to be able to use them. So, you're willing to do this, and he turns and he's looking at Sam, not knowing that, without being
Brace
told
the
otherwise.
leader.
Yeah. So, he's like, if you're willing to help us out, we have scattered about here and there radio towers. Some of them have been damaged in the storm. Some of them have been hit by raiders, or scavengers for parts. If you come across a radio tower, and he shows you, he points at the the logo which is hanging on the tapestry behind him. Because if you see that logo or any of the other logos of the people here, if just pop your head in to make sure everything's working. Most of them run off of little windmills that keep keep cranking, keep the electricity flowing. So, but sometimes again somebody comes in and scavenges the generator for parts. So, but whatever you can do would be appreciated, and would earn goodwill with us.
We'll be sure to keep an eye out.
And obviously, find anybody sabotaging or messing with them. Doesn't matter who they are, even if it's one of the other mercenary groups. We don't mess with our own stuff. So if somebody's screwing with it for whatever reason, they're fair game. Opinion.
We'll keep that in mind.
What else can I do for you while you're and then he starts asking by asking that what else can he do for you here? He's trying to learn from from the group here what you
What's going
encountered
on
on the
with
wasteland.
them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to, at this point, pull out the shell and say, we've run into a sniper a couple of times. I'm reasonably sure that this is their calling card. And I place the shell down on his desk.
he's looking at it. He's like, he does the same thing that you see the weaponsmith had done. He turns it over and he's like, no markings on the bottom, and this is definitely pre-war or pre Skydark. He's like, I've never seen anybody with this type of round. Nobody here would have anything like that. It's a precision round, I can tell you that much. He reaches in and he pulls out. Got a little ammo, and a little ammo tin. He pulls out a 308 round. Puts it down there. This one has holes drilled in the bottom around the outside of the main cartridge itself. That, I'm not saying and he flips it over and you notice that there's nothing written on the bottom. This round here was designed for a suppressed weapon. For so the gas, if it was fired, the round itself would be silenced. Doesn't go very far, still hits like a freight train, but it's a very close range round. So
I'm trying to remember with the sniper if we heard the crack of the rifle or not.
you did
Okay.
hear the sound of of the man-made thunder. Not as loud as Hecate, but it was still very distinct.
And
Kind of
50s
like,
are allowed to say 50 cal.
but it was very it was that whip crack of the
Yeah.
round. The only people that would have ammunition like this, and I won this in a poker game, is the COG at the Air Force Base. But I've never heard of them tell anybody about that. Come across anything, I'll gladly pass the information on to you. I have no problem sharing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Does anybody else have anything else they'd like to ask for?
Yeah, I want to ask him about Delphi.
And you stops and he kind of looks at you. Well, that's a interesting question, young lady. And where did you come by that name?
That's her name.
You'd say that you heard it from some of the guards.
Yeah, I'll say.
No, if you don't have to if you don't want to.
No, yeah.
Okay, so you say what you say. And he's like, Delphi is the chief enforcer of the Merchant Council. He reports directly to the three, even though there's half a dozen merchant guilds within here. There are three of them that kind of rule over everything. The water merchants being the strongest of the three. Is extremely well skilled, more so than
What?
your generic merc, or even, and more so than even the people that I have in my employ. I would say she probably could even give the Jackals a run for their money. Jackals, they have the fewest people fighting for them, or sorry, in their employ, but they're probably they're a standard we're trying to attain. If you've managed to work your way onto her shit list, you'll find whatever she's looking for. And, she'll be as sweet as apple pie, but she is rotten to the core. But my advice, at least as long as you're here, you want to steer clear of her. But that's my advice.
Because she would do what? I don't.
No, because she works for the enforcers, because she's the enforcer for the Merchant Guild, that means somebody in the Merchant Guild has taken notice to you or, say, Sally Sue. They don't particularly like things that threaten them or the control that they have. And if they feel that it's slipping or threatened, they will sick her on you. And she'll attempt to convince you by talking that it's in your best interest to say leave. And if that doesn't work, she will escalate, and he has the full backing of the guild to do whatever is necessary to ensure that they remain with power.
So if she doesn't like us, she'll politely ask us to leave town.
Yes, she does the best that she can to. She will do the best that she can to at least keep the Baron's peace. But if she had, but choosing between the Baron and the guild, she will choose the guild.
How does the Baron feel about that? Does he know?
Yes, and unfortunately, he's not. And he, kind of shakes his head and says, he's not strong enough. He's working to gain back the power that the previous barons or ceded to the merchant guilds, but he's not strong enough at this time to pull that power away from them. And unfortunately, if push came to shove and it came down between the Baron and the merchants, this place would be burning, as everybody would end up taking sides. So it's a uneasy piece, but it does exist.
Interesting.
It
Interesting.
sounds-
So I'm going to ask him, I said, what do you think of the Baron?
Loaded
I-
question.
I think he's young. I can't say he's well seasoned. He has ideas and beliefs, but whether or not he can make them reality is completely different. Our bread and butter is the merchants. They hire us to provide guards, or as you saw with the powder monks, to provide defensive backbone if they can't defend themselves. We have agreements with a few of the communities, around us, mostly heading west towards the Lewis, that we provide protection for. But so, and if the Baron asks, we would back him. But I could say that with certainty that Razor Wings are definitely in the pocket of the merchants. The Vultures could go either way. Jackals, I would say probably they would just flip everybody off and leave. They're the people that work for the Jackals. They know that they're good. I won't diminish what my people can do, but they know that they're good, and they will. They will. They're not willing to bleed for that type of cause. They're here, so they'll abide by the rules. But if it came down to a fight between the Baron and the merchants, no amount of caps would get them involved. I'm hoping it doesn't come to that. Again, he looks at Sally Sue, who waves, and who he waves to. I'm hoping that you guys fly under the radar, so to speak, and don't invoke the ire of the merchant guilds.
We'll do our best.
He does, kind of shrugs and is like, "Yep, that's all we can do." But
I guess we could all. I mean, I guess the only other thing we could mention is that we ran into a group of what are they called? What is it the Cult of Adam?
yeah, you could call them that.
Yeah. We ran into some cultists of Adam that were headed west towards the capital. Not sure if they'd make a stop here or cause any trouble, but thought you should. But you should probably be aware that they're in the area.
I appreciate that. If they manage to get there, capital has its own problems. Right now, they're dealing with an growing infestation of some form of mutant. The common term, from what I understand from talking with some of the COG officers, is called they call the creature a siren. Stands about 7 to 8 foot tall. Alabaster, but alabaster. Doesn't know what you understand word wise. White skin to the point that it almost glistens.
Like the Cyclops?
No, that's an albino. This is like alabaster, like the marble.
Got it.
No, and No pores, no veins, no hair.
Does it sound like the two mutants that were with Lulu?
No, they were albinos also.
Okay.
And the males can fly. The females are ground-based, part of the more deadlier of the two. Make me a intelligence survival roll. Hey! He's got the devil's own. So I mean, he.
Oh, you laugh.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I take it back. I'm sorry.
You realize that what he's describing, it's almost what you saw briefly when you were in.
Yeah, that's right. Because chased them and disappeared.
Yep.
Yes, I'll say that. Yeah, that's what I thought. That sounds like what I thought I saw.
This before you fell into the water?
Oh yeah,
This was back
this
in
was a
Glen
while
Meadows.
ago. Yeah.
Oh, this was okay.
He had gone into the hotel, and he was saw something, and it just whatever it was kind of watching him. He was watching it, and it kind of by the time he tried to get to it, it disappeared into the ruins.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
where
he's
was
like-
that?
Glen Meadows.
Oh.
So it was around the same time that you had come across the Romeo and Juliet situation.
Yeah, it was a while
long
ago.
time ago, yeah.
Yeah, but we never thread that's been hanging out there.
Yep. So he kind of listens to what you're describing. Is like, well, consider yourself lucky. We've found remnants of the Yao Guai, that were torn to pieces by one of those. So it's there's not many, but their numbers are increasing, and nobody knows how or where they're coming from. Just that they're in the capital. If they're heading there, more power to them, so to speak. But it's depending on where they're going, it may be a death sentence. I would love to sit and chat with you folks more, but I really do need to find people to send to get to Captain Rodriguez. So if you'll excuse me.
Of course, sir.
It gets up and he opens up the door. Again, come back. I'll, if there's something, information that you share. He reaches over and he grabs a small pouch and he tosses it to you, Sam, for the information that you shared with me. I'm grateful for that. If you have more stuff that you want to share or things you come across, please let me know.
Be sure to keep it in mind. Thank you, sir.
So, stepping out, looking inside, there's 20 caps, so 4 for everybody. Sally Sue, roll me your 6 combat dice. Okay, 1, 2. Sally Sue, you've managed to pocket 6 more caps at some point in time. Not sure if it was from the table in the tavern or, whatnot. Oh, look, somebody left caps on the table. It's, type of deal.
Magic.
Hey,
Sally Sue wouldn't have bet on Snake.
Nope. I need money. I need caps for all those beers to fill my beer hat.
Yeah, that's 3 more beers right there.
Woo.
So, you have the other 4 merchant groups to talk to. or not merchants, mercenary groups to talk to if you like. But we will cover that when we get together again. And if there's other things that you want to do while you're up here, you let me know. Snake, going to see the doctor, and you do recognize the Red Cross symbol. Doc may have the Addictol. Excuse me, it may have the Addictol also. No
Okay.
guarantee, but it is a possibility.
Right. Excellent.
Is this the floor with the Merchant Council, or is that back on the marketplace level?
It is on this level here,
Okay.
but it is in an isolated area.
Got it. So the offices are on the level below, and that's their main offices and everything where they accept people, but up here it's off limits.
Right.
Got it.
Correct.
Okay.
And Miss Gray can, fill that in too, because she watched Delphi, jump into an elevator which went right to the third floor, but it's in a, it didn't stop. So if there were the other stops, it could have had other, other places to let me pull off.
Got it. Yeah, I think the only other group we may want to check out is the Jackals, but
Yeah, we got a lot of time here, though, waiting on various upgrades, so...
yeah.
Yes.
I think the longest one is 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, for my armor. Yay!
And is this still just the first day? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, you started in the morning or towards the early morning, and then you went along and you cycled through. So this is actually, you spent the entire day going through the place.
Once we got our bearings.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess.
Yep. Made
Yep.
friends, roofied a young girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, productive first day.
Yeah. Yeah. The
Mhm.
only other thing I can think of is if we want to check if there's, since we're going to be staying in the area for a bit, check if there's a message board or something that has jobs or something on it.
Yeah.
Maybe we can do those for some extra caps in the meantime.
Yeah,
That's a good idea.
No.
We'll go.
We're not making Snake go to the post office. No. Besides, from what it sounds like, these people use radios. Completely different concept.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, so looking for stuff, and then don't forget what you're out here for too. You guys have only been inside here, so other than
Right.
talking with the mercs, possibly seeing the doctor, you have the town of Germantown to actually go, take a look in
Right.
itself.
At some point, we need to check out if this place has a rail yard or anything like that, because that might be where COG's supplies are. And if that's the case, we could potentially hire some mercenaries to take it. I don't know, or caravan. I don't know. We'll cross that bridge if we come across it.
Yeah.
And we also know that there might be a vault somewhere out in the swamp.
Yep.
And we've seen evidence of Vault-Tec items, so that seems to support it.
Almost definitely. Yep.
Yep.
Hey, you got
Sounds good.
a lot
Yeah.
of things, a lot of plans to go for.
Yeah, and plenty of time for Sally Sue to crush the economy here.
Yeah, Phoenix, if you can please plan for all of the above, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I will do my utmost.
And they drink them out of their beer, too.
Oh, is that what you're going to do? Is that how you're going to crush them? You're going to
Yeah.
take their alcohol away from them?
Drink them under the table.
I'm sure somebody can set up a still or something, and start making razor grain alcohol or something.
While I'm sleeping.
I'm sure somebody's already done that.
Oh, I'm sure they have.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, still. Yeah, we could finally make some Nuka shine.
That's a good idea.
I'll be your test subject.
Yes, you'll pass out and wake up in Oakville or something.
Medical
Yep.
reasons.
Medical reasons. Oh, yeah.
Yes, medicinal purposes.
Medicinal moonshine.
Yes. In Colorado, we called those people potheads.
Hey, but in Colorado, I guess.
Yeah, when in Colorado, do like the Coloradians do.
Yeah.
Okay, folks,
Yes,
we're
because
going to wrap up for tonight.
You smoke the grass for medicinal purposes.
Yeah, it's,
Sure you
it's
do.
for my
Yeah,
glaucoma.
Yeah,
it helps me see better.
Sure. You keep telling everybody that.
And we are not playing next week. We'll be back the week after that.
Okie dokie.
Outro then?
I'm waiting for the cue. This episode of As the Wasteland Burns was brought to you by Galaxy News Radio and our sponsors at Vault-Tec. Better living underground. Now with
Butt plugs.
instant mashed potatoes and butt plugs.
In that order.
Yeah, why do you have to throw in the mashed potatoes? So,
I'm trying to figure out how to throw in more
Sponsors.
Fallout companies and brands, and I keep going to the food ones for some reason. Like maybe next time we'll have Fancy Lad snack cakes or Sugar Bomb cereal, or maybe Salisbury steak. What was that company name? Yumco.
what's their butt plug brand? Go look that up.
Vault-Tec has a special brand all of their own.
I'm sure
Wonder
they do.
brand. It's shaped like a mannequin's head.
Oh my goodness. That sounds painful.
Yes, it does.
It does, especially if you have to put the nose. No.
Live?